what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today we're hitting the mark in style when I unleash the Ash Wombo combo. So with his most recent update, Ash got some tweaks to a couple of his abilities in addition to a brand spanking new skin. So I figured why not do a mini rundown, a very quick snapshot, as well as show off a couple looks to keep you dressed to kill. Now there's a lot to cover, so let's take a look at that Ash. Now, let's start with his updated skills. First and foremost, Smoke Bomb can now be cast mid-air and on the run without locking you in animation. In all honesty, this is probably my favorite part of the rework. He just feels a bit more mobile and combat's a ton more fluid with the change. Next up is a small tweak. Teleport now supposedly allows you to target anything with a health bar, like crates and barrels. However, upon a bit of testing, it still won't let you teleport to Grenier blunts and turrets, which makes me think that they might have missed a few things on their first pass. And last but definitely not least is the rework to Bladestorm, which isn't as much of a rework to Bladestorm itself, but is more a rework to Bladestorm's targeting mechanic. Activating Ash's ultimate now puts you in mark mode. Moving your reticule over a target will cause them to be marked, which will consume 15 energy at its base for each mark applied. Note that you can mark an enemy up to 3 times to score yourself repeated strikes. Reactivating the ability will cause you to Bladestorm to all marked targets. Note that if any marked targets die or leave the ability radius before you activate Bladestorm, the energy used to mark them will be refunded. In addition, if you cast Bladestorm while invisible, whether it be from Smoke Bomb, Neramon Focus, or my personal favorite for him, Arcane Trickery, the base cost will be reduced to 10. Also note that at the time of this recording, you can gain energy while in Bladestorm's mark mode, meaning that you can run Generic Focus or Energy Siphon. Now, as for the snapshot, as you can see, I am running a 4-forma build. I went ahead and swapped his polarity into a dash slot and added in another dash and 2 more Ds, because as you all know, those Ds can be pretty hefty. And as for the build, there are many variations. However, aside from the standard survivability and efficiency mods, my version focuses on duration and power strength at the cost of a little bit of range. Using a stretch to offset the narrow-minded, you still get just under 40 meters on Bladestorm and get almost 15 seconds of invisibility, which helps reduce the cost per marked enemy. On the other end of the spectrum, you can use this variant, which swaps duration for the base range and gives you a larger energy pool if you feel so inclined. There's a million ways to build him, to be honest with you. These two are just the ones that work best for me. And now for the fun part. The deluxe Ash Koga skin is available in the market for 165 plat. However, if you pick up the bundle, you do get an exclusive Nikana skin that you can't get elsewhere for 215. So to be honest with you, I wasn't all too hyped for this until I actually got to toy around with some of the colorations. After that though, there is just no turning back to that Ash Prime skin for me. Now, in addition to the pecs and the 6-pack that they slapped on this one, they also adorned it with some awesome metallics. While the chest and shoulder pieces are nice, the armored plates along the thighs are what totally win it for me. And they even did a bit of a bump to the booty, which is nice because of all this male ass discrimination was just pissing me the hell off. As for the way I like to customize them, I prefer to keep the primary muted neutral, off-whites, grays, and soft tonal blacks. His secondary, which dictates the accent on his knees and the fabric on his helmet, I prefer to keep deep gem tones or off-whites. Now his tertiary and his accent color, I actually like to keep variations of the same metallic, with one being slightly darker than the other. I'd suggest you toy around with what order you place them in to see what kind of effects you can get out of it. And lastly is the energy color. This one doesn't make a massive impact on the look of the frame, but I do prefer to tie it in with his secondary color. Now with that out of the way, let's get dressed. So all in all, I'm actually quite fond of the Ash rework. While I don't think it was the change that I was looking for, because let's face it, Vomit Cam was never extremely engaging to me. At least the targeting mechanic gives some sort of interactivity to the ability. Personally, I feel way more badass scouting out a room and lighting it up with marks before I hit the trigger, as opposed to the whole activate it on the first enemy I see auto-aim bullshit. But that's just me. In that same vein, I also really like the new Ash skin. However, I'm absolutely over the whole let's make him look like Genji or the Ninja Turtles thing. I actually want wanted to do a Jade look with him, but y'all ruined it for me, and I can't put a single stitch of green on him without thinking of one or the other. Good job, internet. Now, this is the part where I ask you guys to tell me what you think about the skin in the rework, but let's be real. All of the Ash fanboys are already finished with their first paragraph and are moving on to their second. Y'all are crazy. Just remember to think things out rationally and make sure you're not talking out of your ash. So, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already caught it, be sure to check out my latest Dress to Kill on Valkyrie Prime, as well as my previous quick draw on the Venka Prime. Now, don't forget to do all the things that I asked you to do at the end of every one of these. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!